I got some dirty shit to pick up at the dry cleaner. I got a tidy bitch to pick up, I got love Selena. Shawty hop up in the whip, but I ain't never seen her. Shawty love the way I whip it in the two.
Hey everybody, welcome to another stream of Problematic Panel. Today we're going to be discussing the Falcon and the Winter Soldier. The finale just came out. You have your boy DeLon Terrell, you have your boy Jordan, you have your boy Chris, you have your boy Grant, and you have your boy Wyron Botts. Jordan, as soon as I started that, because you were busy, you finished. So you take it back over from here.
Yeah, I mean, DeLon did a great introduction already. You know, we here. So if you're watching this on YouTube, because we love this YouTube. If you're watching this on YouTube, make sure you subscribe to the Problematic Posse channel. If you're listening to this on a streaming service, make sure you follow the Next Door Comic Store podcast. And if you're watching us live right now, welcome to the stream. And like DeLon said, we're going to be talking about Falcon and the Winter Soldier. That the last episode just aired on Disney Plus, following the events after Falcon is given the shield by Captain America. Captain America retires and says, you know, I want you to be the new Captain America. And it follows the events that takes place after that. Spoiler alert, like I said, we will be talking about the ins and outs of the show. Just to let you know. So before we go any further, if you don't want to hear any spoilers, y'all should dip from our live.
Whoa. If you don't want to hear any spoilers, just turn the volume down. You know what I'm saying? Just look away. But don't dip.
What if Jordan said that and the view count went down to 0? Now what?
I mean,
what?
I don't know what you want me to say. I don't know what you want me to say. But anyway, so we get to the show, and now, so basically, I'm gonna ask you guys this: Falcon gives up the shield. The shield is then given to a new Captain America, and it was not planned by Falcon for anybody to take up the shield. He gave the shield up so that it would be preserved in the museum, and so he felt like he couldn't live up to Captain America's legacy. And now it's been given to a new Captain America. That's the premise of Falcon and Winter Soldier, and it follows the events after that. Guys, I feel like this. I don't know how. Let me just read the room. How did you guys feel about this show? Did y'all feel like this 6-episode series was a success? And if so, do you feel like this 6-episode format helped it be successful in terms of, do you feel like it should have been more than 6 episodes, or you feel like it should have been less? Well, what are y'all thinking?
So I think it did a really good job of setting itself up for season 2. But as far as like quality content went, I felt like they were so busy with setting it up that they kind of left that part out a little bit. So I enjoyed it, but I don't know, it wasn't as great as it could have been.
I see I kind of get what you're coming from, because I cracked a joke because I was watching with my girlfriend. I was like, Falcon had been Falcon for 3 episodes. He'd been walking around as Sam Wilson for 3 episodes. Like when he was doing like the whole thing with Zemo, the whole espionage thing, trying to figure out exactly where the terrorists were and all that stuff. And I was like, he ain't flew in a while. Like he ain't thrown a shield in a while. Even the new Captain America wasn't really doing anything. So really it was Zemo, the Winter Soldier, and Sam Wilson. That was what like 60% of the show was. But what about you, Chris? How did you feel about the pacing of the show? And do you feel like this 6-episode series was a success?
Pace. I think it worked. I think it worked as 6. I think that sometimes we are accustomed to, especially for bigger production stuff like this, we want it to be way longer and a lot more drawn out, like more than, like with WandaVision only having 8 or 9 episodes. People like, oh, there should have been more. But I think 6 really worked for this, especially with them kind of styling them like movies and just want to give them a little bit of extra time to work. I think if we would have got it anything longer, it would have got a bit bloated. So 6 to really focus on like one specific arc that leads to him going from, Falcon to being Captain America. I think that worked well. It was paced fine. I would like to maybe if this is going to do a second season. I know they've already announced there's going to be a 4th movie, so I don't know if he's going to get another season and a movie, or if they're just going to do just a movie. But if they were to do another season, I would like it to maybe be a bit longer to cover. Maybe they cover more ground and do different things. But just for this one itself, I think 6 was perfect. And they benefited from being a little bit longer than WandaVision. WandaVision, they had they were early on, maybe only being like 30 minutes. I think most of these were at least 45. So as far as like the actual amount of time that you spent watching, it balanced itself out the same way as some of the longer series.
And like, they, normally they wouldn't have like this service like Disney Plus to like put out a series. They would normally try to fit all this into a movie. Like normally this would have been a movie probably like 2 or 3 years ago where it had been Falcon and Winter Soldier. And I like the 6-episode format with them like saying like, okay, let's just take time out so people can get to know Sam Wilson. Let's take time for people to get out, let's take time out to really develop the Winter Soldier and like really show the trauma and how hard he is struggling with getting past his past. And I like that they were able to take time out for both of them to help build up hype for when he actually becomes Captain America. Well, when Bucky finally has that breakthrough, it feels so satisfying because we've seen them progressively grow through the 6 episodes, which I don't feel like we get that same effect if they were I feel like we don't get that same effect if it was a movie because it's been a lot faster pacing.
Right.
Grant, did you feel like Falcon and Winter Soldier, thumbs up, thumbs down? What were you feeling, Grant?
I'm gonna be honest, man. I'm very satisfied with Falcon and Winter Soldier. With Sam Wilson, in the other movies, of course, he Falcon, like he kind of like he's not like a sidekick, he just like an associate of like he an Avenger, but he ain't like a leader and things like that. Throughout this whole series, we see him evolve into more of a leadership role, and then like Bucky kind of take like because Bucky, he was never. I would never consider him a leader, but you kind of see him as the show goes on. You kind of see him be like, "Okay, I'm kind of taking a back seat." I kind of see now that Sam is the one that deserves this mantle, stuff like that. And then plus we have what I was gonna say, like we see things like, for instance, him taking the initiative to go visit Isaiah Bradley. Kind of leading all that missions, and then Bucky just being like, "Hey man, I'm coming with you," all that type of stuff. So yeah, I think it just really helps Sam becoming the lead, stuff like that. It really set him up to actually take on the mantle and not be like this awkward thing. And I like how they really just did it in episode 5, where it just kind of evolved like, "Hey, this your shit now." And then episode 6, it just all really just tied together. So yeah, I think our Falcon and the Winter Soldier is a success. And I feel like the pacing was pretty much like one of the best parts of the show. Cause it was like, first of all, it was like pretty much like an hour per episode. Yeah. And then so yeah, that's fine with me. And then I don't think if it gets a second season, that's cool. Like because they got content they can go for the second season, but the next movie, I'm assuming he gonna be running it back with U.S. Agent. So overall, I think it was a success.
Delon, was there anything you did not like about Falcon and Winter Soldier?
Before I go there, I just want to say I'm keeping an entire Stackington. I'm gonna need more MCU series versus movies. Like if it comes back around to it and they have to choose between Captain America 4 and Captain America and the Winter Soldier series, I kinda would rather that series. There's just something about being able to live with the characters a little bit longer, episode to episode. Especially because MCU movies, you know how it is. They be moving all over the map. Like a Fast and Furious movie. We're in this location. The very next day, we're in this location on the complete opposite side of the globe. Everything's fine. It's still daytime. I kind of need that 6 episodes, that 7 episodes to get through it. It just makes it feel a lot better. Is there anything that I did not like about it? I was hoping for a little bit more White Wolf background. I'm not gonna lie. I was hoping for just like 1 or 2 more bars about that or his background in Wakanda. They kind of did give all of our references to that in about 20 minutes in 1 episode. Other than that, there's not much that I did not like about this series. They handled the characters well. They made the white people shut up when the white people needed to shut up towards the last 2 episodes of the show. It was all gravy, man. It was all gravy. They had the right people in the room for a lot of it.
So Haj Malik says we needed more screen time between Pappy and Bucky. I got no real resolution or closure from that. they let us know what happened, but didn't really show us what happened. And I'm assuming Pappy, is that referring to the Asian man who lost their son? Is that what
Yeah,
he's
I think
referring
so. I
to?
think he meant. I think so. 'Cause he's talking about resolution and closure. So
Yeah.
I think that that's what he's talking about.
Which I imagine, like, once he like told him, "I'm the one who told you, and I'm the one that killed your son," I feel like the guy was probably like stunned and probably sat in silence. Like, what did you say? What do you say back to that? What do you say back to the guy?
Yeah, right.
I'm like, bro, I smoked on your son pack, and then boom, we just gonna walk out.
Okay.
Okay. I'm pretty sure he yeah. Okay, well, I figured that's what you meant. But yeah, I'm pretty sure he collapsed to the floor or some shit like that. He might have had a heart attack and then just walked like, all right, I tried.
Bro, I thought he was gonna die of a seizure. I'm gonna keep real with you.
I don't think it was so much necessary to see it, but it also kind of shows us that it probably wasn't all positive because, you know, towards the end, you know, he sees the guy eating at the little restaurant they always eat at, and then he just chooses not to go in and sit with him. So elite, like, I guess we could have seen that. It wouldn't have hurt to see that. It probably wouldn't take no time to see that, but it was more so about the fact that he manned up and addressed his issue more so than the things that happen after it, because that doesn't matter. Actually,
Yeah, I was about to say in those cases, that's typically like what. Oh, go ahead, Byron.
I was saying, can you imagine like how tough it would be to like befriend somebody, knowing in the back of your mind that, you know, that you killed their son, and sit down and tell him that with police detectives. Like, I don't know, a lot of the White Wolf background was super deep and impressive. Like, especially when they were trying to get him out of that trance or whatever, when they said the command words, you know what I'm talking about?
Mm-hmm.
They didn't make a big story out of that as they could have. I don't know.
Yeah,
there was a lot there.
I think
that's a very emotional moment too. That was a very emotional moment. But go ahead, Greg.
Yeah.
the 2 points where I'm gonna mention Byron first. Byron, I think personally, I feel like they gonna save that, like the White Wolf storyline. I think they even gonna save that for Black Panther 2, or they gonna save that for the next either the next Avengers movie or the next Falcon and Winter Soldier series or White Wolf series. To DeLon's point about what was I gonna say?
Movies versus series.
Yes, like I agree with that, because the thing is with the movies, like outside of origin films, you don't really see. I'm gonna be honest, like I don't really see like a lot of, in my opinion, I don't see a lot of character development from the MCU outside like origin films. Like, hey, we growing up now. Like, hey, this is you. With like, for instance, with WandaVision and like this series, we really see them really just dive into the character and things like that. Like Sam Wilson, like this the most we ever got out of Sam Wilson, stuff like that. And then this is the most we've ever, I'm not going to necessarily say the most out of Bucky, but like, yeah, I kind of
the most. He was kind of a drone for the
most.
first 8 movies.
Yeah,
He was kind of like a drone.
Because like first movie he a secret agent. Second, he a evil secret agent. Second movie he overcoming his brainwashing. Third movie we actually see him as a character. Like, hey man, I'll be going through stuff. This PTSD is still be dealing with me. I was in Wakanda trying to get over it this whole time, and then I finally made it through and all that stuff. So we just kind of see, yeah. So I do agree with your point, and like more, not necessarily like less movies, but like
More series,
more effort to shows.
Yeah,
and more shows.
And it's easier to do that with shows because you're not confined to an hour and 30 minutes. Because you think about, because the hard part about hour and 30 minutes, you have to give the action, you have to give the plot lines, like we need this to happen, we need this to happen, we need this to happen. But we also need to make sure people understand the character. It's so hard to do that in an hour and 30 minutes, but over the course of like 6 hours, which is what Falcon and Winter Soldier ends up being, you're able to touch base on each character bit by bit while also unfolding the plot as you progress. So that's why I'm not really a big movie person, because a lot of movies I watch, I think to myself, like, this would have been better as a TV series if they spent time, if they gave this character more time, or they let this happen or let this develop a little bit more. I know that like in movies, and I know it's the art of movies though, being able to tell a story in an hour and 30 minutes, but for characters like this, it felt so much better. Like, even if I don't think it would have felt as organic, him becoming Captain America if they fit it all into an hour and 30-minute film, because we probably wouldn't have had that all those interactions we had with Isaiah Bradley, some of that would probably been chopped out, which I felt like all of that was necessary in order to explain so people could accurately see why there was an issue why Falcon had an issue with becoming Captain America, like why that was such a big deal and why that was such a hurdle for him as a black man. Like, I feel like that probably would have been minimized if it had been contained to a movie, as well as how severe Bucky's PTSD had been if he didn't see it like fleshed out over the course of 6 episodes. So
100%. It's just one of those things where, like, for instance, like, okay, so you had, like, you got Captain America First Avenger, Iron Man, things like that. You really just see those movies are like, they're origin films, of course, but those movies are really like, hey, this the character, this how I become the character. But it's not like in the MCU, we don't really see. I don't think we really see much past that. It's like with Falcon and Winter Soldier, it's like, hey, after they become what they've already become, we still get to see them grow as a character, and I think that's important. Yeah, and that's why I wanted to see with the MCU going forward.
So, I guess I was going to ask you later on, like, what do y'all think comes next? And like y'all were talking about, Falcon and Winter Soldier 2 has already been confirmed. Chris, is that what you said?
It's a Captain America 4 with him taking the mantle, and I think that's probably, they kind of announced like it's in the works. It's probably something that was always planned. I think that is, if you just look at a majority of the characters that are getting the shows, I think that's very intentional. They're taking the characters that have kind of come into the MCU in the middle of some of the big events, and they haven't really, like, of course, like Grant said, in the earlier movies, you had a chance to really do that character work and flesh characters out. But these characters who are going to take bigger roles in Phase 4 and on kind of came in the middle of the Age of Ultron stuff, the middle of Civil War stuff, at the back end of the Infinity Saga, so there wasn't that real opportunity to flesh them out. So now you get the shows as a chance to really drive them and grow them as characters, so they could become, Wanda wasn't technically really the Scarlet Witch until the end of WandaVision. She was, everybody knows Wanda Maximoff, that's what she is, but she didn't really become that until the end. And so now in the next phase, that's going to be, where she's kind of carried as Sam. Like you said, it wouldn't have worked to make him Captain America in the movie. So you take a show and give you a chance to flesh out his character and work him, and then you can go into the movies, and he's got this, lore within the MCU that people have a better understanding of him, and now he can just kind of fit in and go movie and survive. Because Iron Man and Captain America, those people weren't in movies. I'm sorry, they weren't in TV shows, but they still had, meaningful and compelling character arcs. But it's just because, they fit in different scenarios where they were able to be fleshed out in better ways. So with the side characters getting their shows, I think it's going to be, they had multiple movies. So I think the side characters getting their shows to really get them over the hill and get them where they need to be, and then they can kind of just cook in the movies, because they'll be well fleshed out. They'll be fully formed characters. I think that works. That, I don't know if I'm big on wanting season 2s of everything. I think if we get somebody, the development they need in the show, I think they're good to exist in the movies. Like, I definitely think there are other people who I'd rather see get shows and get maybe multiple seasons or another season of WandaVision. Like, you on crack. There's no reason for another season of this. Like, there's so many big things that they're going to do in the movies that I'd rather see her, take charge and be a part of those than to just put her in another TV show where she's just bopping around.
I was point after you, Jordan.
Okay, so as a movie person, Chris, do you see an issue with movies having basically things you should see before, like a TV series you should see before going to see the movie? Like, this is I don't know how customary or how unusual it is, because a lot of time movies do the whole idea of we're going to do this quick exposition at the beginning so that you know who this character is, and then we'll get into the movie. Which is why a lot of times, a lot of times superhero movies aren't all that great, because they spend a lot of times like showing the heroes, beginning, and then they start to do the plot and stuff like that. Mm-hmm. But here we'll have the issue of, like, let's say somebody watched Endgame, and let's just like pretend like Captain America 4 was the next movie. And then could you imagine going from watching that movie, not owning Disney Plus, and then watching Captain America 4? Because then it's like, okay, whoa, wow, when did he get the suit?
Why Sam got the shield? Why Why he a America bird? What is
Yeah,
going on?
why you America for an eagle? But yeah,
So I definitely think like it's a unique case that you're only going to see with stuff like this. Like people are worried that that'll become the norm for stuff in general. That probably won't become the norm. Like you'll see that with superhero and comic book properties and maybe some like video game stuff that they'll do something like this. But I'm not too. I definitely like understand people who aren't going to get Disney Plus and who aren't going to watch those shows, kind of having that gap where they're a bit confused. But I'm not too like anti this because again it does give meaningful time for some characters to get fleshed out in a way, and I'd rather see it be that than to throw in like like okay, so let's take how Wanda's going to show up in Doctor Strange. They're going to do some kind of rundown of what happened in WandaVision just because that movie's going to come out a year and a half after WandaVision has ended. But I would rather you have a comprehensive understanding of what happened from the show along with maybe that rundown than just the rundown of, oh man, yeah, Wanda trapped all these people in the city. And you know what I mean? Because like when they give some of these descriptions, I'm like, oh, I want to see that. Like I would have rather seen that. Like I don't mind you telling it to me in exposition before y'all go get faded by her. But like that sounds cool. I'd rather see this. So I'm not super like, and even the DC movies they're starting to do it a bit. I know the new Batman movies. There's going to be a show alongside of that, a Gotham City police procedural. It's going to be a Law and Order Gotham City or something. So I don't mind it happening. Like I said, with these big conglomerate, like with these tentpole IPs, like it's not the worst thing in the world for that. And again, like there are going to be people who are going to miss out on it because they just don't have Disney Plus. But I think it'll do. Again, it's not favorable, but you'll get people caught up on the in between in the exposition that you'll get in the movie. So. And which is how the movies survive for the longest. That's what they normally did. So,
Lon, what's up?
So, I just want to say, Chris, about 7 minutes ago, you said, you don't know how you feel about season 2's WandaVision. Don't need a season 2. I 100% agree with you there. I am not trying to watch Captain America 4 chasing after Sharon Carter.
That's probably not going to happen.
So she's dipped off into the background as a power broker, and
I would
probably much rather that be a series,
a different thing. I don't think that they'll be the ones to go after. They'll probably lead into Thunderbolts or maybe something like that. That's some of the speculation is. I don't think they'll do a whole movie of them chasing her. I could see a different series happening with her in some capacity. But like in a Captain America 4, Captain America 4 might not, take anything having to do with U.S. Agent or Sharon Carter. There's tons of lore material and there's tons of stuff that Sam did becoming Captain America that they can kind of cover. I don't think they're going to leave all that stuff as just threads that are just there for forever.
Okay, listen, I'll take that. Just very specifically, I need them to not make Captain America.
Oh yeah, no, of course.
Listen, exactly. Take her to leave it with U.S. Agent. Very specifically, I do not want to see Sharon Carter's.
And that's understandable. That is my thing with a lot of comic book things that get adapted. There are just some things that work better as maybe shows or longer standing things in just one movie. WandaVision was a complete one for one, remapping of House of M or the Tom King Vision run, but I would rather them try to work those things out in a series than we get this half Vision, half House of M thing in a 2.5 hour movie, because that would have been awful. There's no way to fit that kind of stuff in a movie. So I'm with you there. I think it's just like there are specific stories that I know can serve as a movie, and there's specific things I'm like, yeah, if we have to do this storyline, it'd serve a lot better as a show. Like Thunderbolts would probably work well as a show, and that might have more tied in with the Sharon Carter stuff than it being a movie on its own. So, Chris,
you might need to move your mic away from your mouth just a little bit.
You hearing? I know it might be this cord. Yeah, hang on.
Gotcha.
The other day.
That boy hanging on to that cord, boy.
But while Chris adjusts his mic, the next thing I wanted to ask was, so the big story of Falcon and the Winter Soldier, and I was like, oh my god, my chest was pounding at the end when it shows Captain America and the Winter Soldier, is that our man Falcon evolves and becomes the new Captain America. He's Captain America, but he's the first Black Captain America. Guys, how did y'all feel about like this transition from like the transition itself? And do you feel like how well do you feel like it was handled? Like the whole context of why it's difficult for a black man to become Captain, I'm not calling him Captain Falcon, become Captain America. How do y'all feel about having the black Captain America?
So one of y'all can go first. Yeah,
I'll say this. Well, this isn't necessarily about the character. This is about Anthony Mackie as an actor. Anthony Mackie, he's got so much slander as an actor. Everybody was like, "Oh my God, I don't even know what this man could. I don't know if he could be the next Captain America." Blah 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 blah. And yes, myself included, I was a little shaky on it initially. But I would say this series pretty much erased any doubt in my mind that he couldn't be Captain America. Like he was
great.
Man, you gonna look me in my eyes? You gonna look me in my eyes? You gonna tell me that Papa Doc did not convince you that he could carry on America's mantle?
Not Papa Doc. It's crazy. Like Anthony Mackie can act. It's he's just taking so many weird roles. Like he's got so many serious or like different movies. You're like, oh man, he can really act. It's just like some of the weird stuff that he's taken has been so meme-ified. That's like kind of his brand. But like that Tupac stuff is hilarious. That is hilarious.
I'm Tupac.
No, and I don't know how I forgot, but my girlfriend was watching. She said, "Isn't that the guy from Black Mirror?" I'm like, Anthony Mackie wasn't in Black Mirror. Yeah, yes, he was.
Anthony Mackie was in everything.
He was in that. He was in that episode where the two guys playing the video games together and they fell in love with each other. I was like, oh, that was him. That's a very memeable. I was like, wow, I can't believe it. From Tupac to futuristic Black Mirror to Papa Doc to Captain America.
What a run.
Just the transition, like him being Captain America, at the end, like I ain't gonna say like I fully expected it, but I kind of expected it. But the thing is, throughout the whole show and throughout the whole series, you see like these kind of not necessarily hints, but like these decisions he makes, stuff like that, and this taking a leadership throughout the whole series and taking charge. Like for instance, with what's the old girl name with the the redheaded girl,
Carly.
Yeah, Carly.
Yeah, she was he was like with that situation, he was showing leadership. What else? What was I gonna say? With the whole youth.
Yeah, with like the leaders talking to them, like the whole speech he gave towards the end, how he tried to resolve things with Carly, but while the new Cap tried to do things forcefully, like he just showed all the things you would want in a Captain America.
I do want to say this though, the speech that he gave in the end, there was a lot of it was Twitter's pretty much they kind of shaky on it. But one thing I did like about that is that when he was telling those leaders and he was telling those political figures right there, he's like, hey, what she may have done was wrong. What she may have done is wrong, but you need to be asking why she did what she did. So this type of stuff doesn't happen again, because it's just going to keep going on. Because even though you aren't necessarily happy with what was done, you need to understand, hey, this is why I did it. And then you can fix a problem that you can go ahead and fix a problem that needs to be fixed. And
I agree with that, Grant. I thought that was well said by him. I will also say that it kind of felt weird because for a split second, they seemed like the villains. Like I'm talking about Captain America, aka Falcon, aka Sam Wilson. They seemed like the villains when they were saving the global leaders, because I know the global leaders were just discussing evictions of a lot of people to another country. Like they were saying, we got to kick them out their homes. Like we got the police and stuff ready to get them out of their homes and stuff. Yeah, we about to do it. And Carl and them are stopping it. And then the heroes are coming and saving those people who are going. I'm thinking like they're gonna go vote to kick these people out their homes again. So And I was sitting there thinking to myself, and then they later on say that okay, they stalled the vote and they aren't going to vote on it right now, so people are going to actually get to stay where they want to stay. But I thought that was just funny, like sitting there watching. I was like, Also, kind of unrelated, very off topic, guys. I have to ask this because they were on Carly's head about killing about 2 to 3 people the entire show. Like, Carly, this is not the way. This is not what you want to do. And they made fun of Winter Soldier for killing so many people throughout the show. Just like, oh yeah, you got a lot, you got a large body count. This is what you do. This is what Winter Soldier does. You might break it in a moment. Keep all the killing all these people. And I thought to myself, in the first 10 minutes of the show, it's Falcon trying to save this soldier, and he is killing people. Like, he's catching them in the helicopter, like piloting the helicopter into a gorge, and they're like
redirecting the missiles. He redirected the missiles to the helicopter, and they basically all of them died.
Like he throwing people out the helicopter, and he's going to save them. They just fall into their deaths. Like, I'm like, Falcon killed like 20 people in the first 10 minutes of this show, and y'all been talking down on people for killing people.
So, Jordan, I think you may have missed it. I think
I think it's different. Those like Hydra, those like the ops. Those like Hydra and stuff like that.
Well, there was a building. There was a building full of like people like tied up or like hostage U.S. agents, and then some civilians because U.S. agents went there. Carly said, "Blow that bitch up."
Yeah, because some of the people there are like people
that is a good
rounded
point.
up, like that they were trying to relocate. So it was like a mix of guards and some of the people that they were attempting to force out of their homes and relocate. And that was like a shelter that had like food and like water and all the reserves that they're going to give to people. And Carly blew that building up, killing the guards who, for better or for worse, not to be a defender of that, but we're just kind of doing their job. I think that they're like everyone else. The blip has happened. They're just trying to get the world back to normal, not understanding that normal is the issue. You're destroying those resources, and then the people that they'd rounded up that they're trying to lead, the people who were going to benefit from Carly's cause had they, fulfilled it in a meaningful way. Like, she just blew them up too. So I think that was a point of people like Carly. It was just like civilians and resources in there. Like, some of them people.
Yeah. That's when it kind of turned up too. That's when they kind of started going after a little bit harder. I think that was the turning point. Actually, I think that was a turning point in the series because even her people were looking at it like, "Yo, we probably should."
Right.
I just thought it was funny because I was like, "Hold on, man, Falcon." I'm just saying, like, Falcon has killed people too, and I was like,
"Man, they're Hydra ops. They don't count as people."
Okay, and that's but Hudson says Americans don't mind murder violence when it's in the name of American imperialism.
Question real quick, and I don't know if it happened or not. 2 questions. Well, one, I don't know if I missed it or something like that. But when John Walker he picks up the super serum and stuff like that, did he take it?
Yeah, he took it. He took it off screen. Yeah, he took it.
He took it off screen. Okay, and then second of all is I don't know if he does in comics or anything like that. But does Sam wind up taking it, or does he just keep it on?
No, Sam. Yeah, Sam has never taken it. I think, and so that's part. So what they did in the comics with that was, it kind of hit around what they missed out on this series. What it kind of started to hint around in the comics was, can you be Captain America like without those powers? And so that's when they really started to dive into more like what it really means to be Captain America. So like, I know you saw like Twitter people be like, how can he be Captain America? He doesn't have the powers. And it's like, well, that's kind of the point. It's not about, your powers. It's about who you are as a person. So a big part of the Sam Captain America series was him trying to decide if he would do it, one, because of course, the obvious, the ground that was covered in the show, and then also like, I don't have these powers, like I'm not super strong, like, I won't be able to live up to Steve in the way that other people can. So they let that out of here. I guess they carried that more through the John Walker part, which I thought was cool, but he didn't take it. And a whole big crux of it sometimes in his iterations was like, can I be Captain America if I can't lift an entire building up?
The Wakandan guards beating up John Walker, and John Walker saying they're
flawless.
They weren't even super soldiers.
A poetic ass whooping if I've ever seen one. Bucky should have minded his business and stayed out of it. I hate it had to be him. He had to get his arm knocked off, but John Walker getting faded was incredible to see.
A very small thing, but I really, really liked how, when they were fighting in the room and shit, first of all, them Wakandans was beating the fuck out of them, I tell you that. Second of all, I really liked how You know how old girl walked up to Bucky and then in like 4 seconds his arm came off his head. I really like that the Wakandans, they put their own fail safe and their own technology. Say, hey, you try to use this against us, it ain't gonna fly.
It ain't gonna work. So DeLon, I want to ask you, get your opinion on it. After witnessing the arc with I think his name was Isaiah Bradley.
Yeah, Isaiah Bradley.
And his interactions with Sam, and like what he told Sam, like I can't imagine. He said, I think you had to be a fool to want to be Captain America after everything you've seen, like being a black man, after everything I've just told you. Do you feel like they handled that, the show handled that appropriately? And do you feel like that, like, after seeing, I was thinking to myself, like, how does he go on being Captain America after hearing this, and it don't seem forced, or it doesn't seem like, well, that doesn't make sense? What do you think about that, DeLon?
You trying to give me the DeLon's a coon answer? I see. I see the alley-oop you just played.
I think you're intelligent, DeLon. I feel like you'd handle this question really well.
The only way that was possible was through the Isaiah Bradley arc, based on where we were at the MCU at this point. Because, like America aside, the entire series was about them just like repositioning all of those people. So it's entirely political off rip. And then of course we get the cop scene. Wasn't my favorite, but I also thought it was funny. I don't know how many different ways they could have done it, especially in a Disney product. But I think they did a good job. My only question is, how the fuck did Sam get that Isaiah Bradley information cleared at the end for it to then go in a museum in like a week? Like, I don't know what happened, like who he talked to, what papers he got declassified, how that ranking of Captain America works. But
when you Captain America, you're a big dog, I guess. Like,
I guess.
The thing is, though, he may be a big dog, but at the same time, it's like, hey, bro, you wouldn't the U.S. government did that.
That's an international news story. That's like an international incident right there.
Yeah. The U.S. government did that. Oh, man, we going to have to handle that. Oh, man, nah. Like,
that's basically the Tuskegee experiments. Like, that's that. Like, how do you get the government upstairs to be like, can y'all admit y'all did this and then put
we did it
for him, for this
Go
guy?
ahead, put it in the museum.
I guess. Where did you learn this from, Sam? Is you saying that nigga alive? Like that kind of. So that's my only question mark on that one. But I think they did a relatively good job with it, especially all the constant conversation throughout it. And I think Bucky very much played his role. And I think having John Walker as an op, I think he was a really good all-American white boy. Byron, I'm so sorry. All-American white boy op in there as a juxtaposition against Sam.
Wait.
Polar opposites.
Why are you saying sorry, Byron? Is Byron like Byron?
I've just said white boy like 50 times since the beginning of the stream.
Okay, I thought you like.
You're all right, white boy.
You sound like you were hinting at Byron being an all-American white boy. I'm like, Byron's not.
Real Hoskins, by the way.
Hold on. We're good.
Okay.
Not a lot of adjectives you can use here.
Yeah.
I'll say this. It's cool. One underrated part of this, well, not so much underrated, I'm pretty sure a lot of people understand this, is that for a long time, well, I'm going to say this. I'm purposely saying this. Green Lantern from Justice League in the cartoon was a black man. And as a kid, that was the only Green Lantern I knew. I didn't know there was a Green Lantern before him. So I grew up thinking that the only Green Lantern was the black one. And that's the only one I was familiar with. And I was like, that's cool. That's cool. Because he technically was like the only major black Justice League member that they show like constantly, like in every episode. So I just thought to myself at the end of it, I thought to myself, that is so cool that there's going to be a generation of kids that grow up only knowing the black Captain American. I thought that was neat. I thought that was going to be real cool. Cause like they're going to grow up and they're like, wait, Captain America used to be white. Like I was like, that was kind of nuts to me when I think about it. Like they're going to see Captain America 4 and all these things that go forward. But Chris, what do you think about that? Cause you said,
Oh yeah, no, I was agreeing with you just as far as you know, of course, like they will be able to go back and watch the older movies and know. But I mean, kids who are just now getting to the age where you can understand what's going on in the movie, like their parents aren't going to sit them down like, all right, let me show you the whole MCU and these 2 TV shows before I show you Captain America. Like they might just go to the movies with their parents, you know, or they might have a friend group. You know how kids go on those, you know, they'll rent out a movie theater and they might go and see that and they'll just see a Captain America movie. Their only understanding of it will be that, you know, he's a black man. Of course, there'll probably be some reference to Steve, but like as far as what they're going to actually be seeing representation wise, like you said, they're only going to know that, and it's not going to be until they're older and watch the older ones and get an understanding that, oh, this is somebody else who passed it down in them. But I mean, that's the same thing with like Miles Morales. Not to get too far off, there are some people who didn't know, you know, a whole lot about Spider-Man, but saw maybe Into the Spider-Verse or got into comics around the time that Miles became prominent. And while they might know that Peter Parker exists because, you know, I guess how can't you? As far as what they really, really have, you know, true information on, understanding on, it's of a black kid as Spider-Man, and like that's impactful and that's cool. Especially being me, somebody who like liked that kind of stuff for so long and not really getting the representation, especially not on screen with characters like that until a bit down the line. Like that stuff is really cool. That's like my Twitter AVI is me in a Spider-Man outfit when I was little. And I mean, you know, it's just one of those things that you see as a certain way for the longest time, and then changes kind of come, and it's just like really neat to kind of see that kind of stuff.
And it's similar to Spider-Man, only in the fact that like you watch Into Spider-Verse, then like the next major Spider-Man movie it goes back to being a white Spider-Man. But like, you know, you watch this and then, well, like a kid will maybe watch Captain America 4. It might be like the first time he's like experiencing the MCU, and he decides
While they're flipping through Disney Plus.
Yeah, while flipping through Disney Plus, and then like from that point on, like everything that comes after that, they only see a black Captain America. So I'm saying, like, unless somebody tells them, or unless they like, who was Steve Rogers, and they think to go back and look, they won't know that. And I thought that was like cool, in the fact that I was like, that like, kids will grow up with. There will be younger kids who grow up with a black Captain America, when that be the only Captain America they know until they grow older and they learn that, okay, there was somebody before that. But I want to ask you guys, who were your MVPs of this series? Like, who's your, when I say MVP, who's like your favorite character / person throughout the course of this series?
I like Zemo a lot. Zemo was cool as shit.
Yes,
that man
I
was
did too.
So smart. The whole time, like, I didn't know what was going on with him. I liked it.
And I was like very much expecting him to turn on them at some point. I was like waiting for the turn at every episode. It just never came. So I was like, okay, cool, Zemo. I appreciate you not being, you know, a piece of shit.
He has an agenda.
Because he's actually pretty
agenda.
He stuck to his guns.
In the very end, when like his butler blows up the 4 super soldiers and everything, that is so funny to me.
He, you know, he man of his word. I'm glad. Which I don't know his relationship with Bucky enough, like, because, you know, I haven't seen a lot of the older films or even stuff like that. But, you know, I'm glad he left Bucky alone. It's like, you know, we cool. You one of the good ones, Bucky.
His like relationship isn't too far. He only really met him in Captain America Civil War, when he used the book to kind of mind control Bucky to give him some information and do some stuff. So he doesn't really have anything against him. Bucky was just like a means to an end for him in one movie. So like they don't really have like a long, you know, history. Like he, before this series, had only met Bucky once, and half that time, or the entire time, basically, he had Bucky under his control. So it's like he didn't really care too much about him, because he's like, you know, I kind of use you to do some dirt. I know you're not really that kind of dude, because the group that you run with, you're just a means to an end. So if you off me right here, I get it. I understand.
Zemo actually don't. But Zemo doesn't even really like the Avengers, though. So even though he is technically an Avenger, he still don't like the Avengers. Like, he don't agree with them either.
Right. Well, see, Bucky wasn't, like, again, that was the thing where Bucky wasn't involved in the thing that destroyed Sokovia. Like, Bucky was off being controlled to go kill like Waffle House employees or something somewhere. So he's like, Bucky had nothing to do with that. So he's like, I've got nothing really against him. Like, the only, you know, like the bad stuff that he's done that relates to me in any way is stuff that I made him do. So he's like, so yeah, I'm putting all these other super soldiers in a pack, but Bucky Barnes ain't really bothering me, so I'm gonna let him cook.
So what were you saying about Zemo, Byron?
I was saying, other than the first part where he didn't really mess with Captain America as much either. So I don't think it was necessarily the super soldier thing. I think it was like super soldiers that had that bad intent. Because when you're a bad person and you still have the power to do bad things, that can mean a lot of harm for a lot of people. Zemo knew that.
That's like the line he had about the desire to be a super soldier is going to naturally breed supremacy, which is so perfectly reflected in John Walker, like why he wants to be him, because he wants to, be above those people and have that kind of strength. So it's like Byron said, he definitely had it out more for the people who were like using it to be bad. Because if that was his whole thing again, he would have tried to smoke Bucky, because Bucky was essentially a super soldier. So
yeah. Grant, who was your MVP of the Falcon and Winter Soldier series? Who was your favorite character?
Let's see, man. I gotta go with. Man, that's a hard question.
We can come back to it if you want me to.
I'm gonna be honest, man. I don't think it's a clear-cut MVP.
So who was your favorite though? Like
my favorite character in the show.
Yeah, that's more so what I mean.
Well, my favorite character was probably it either had to be Falcon or John Walker. Not saying I like John Walker. Not saying I like John Walker. Like I agree with his more, but he's a good written character. Like he shows what this man. These agents gonna be outside my house, but he shows what America really stand for.
Right.
And then in regards like with Falcon, it's like, and then you see with Falcon, he's like, hey man, being a good person and being like what America is supposed to be, it's like, hey, we see our past, like we see y'all's past and things like that. You should want to change your past and right your wrongs instead of doubling down and be like, hey, this is how it is. This is how it should be. I'm gonna be. I want people to be basically be under me instead of. Hey, I want to help these people. I want them to live a good life and things like that.
Yeah. So, Lauren, what about you? Who was your favorite character during the series?
I would have to say the one, the only, my girl, the Red Rocket, the Red Raider, our favorite terrorist, Carly. Listen, man. Carly came through. First off, team player. First off, gets the serum, immediately spreads it out to the homies. Like you have to respect that. She immediately spreads it out to the homies. She was doing some wild shit. Nobody flipped on her. Not one person flipped. They thought about it. They got scared. They were apprehensive. Not a single person flipped, even in the last episode. She was doing it for the people. Sometimes she did it to the people, but for the most part, she was doing it for the people. And I feel like she was genuine the whole time. Even to her death, she was genuine. She never had a moment of fake. She said she was going to do something. She did it. She told these niggas I was coming. She came. I don't see a problem with Carly. Also John Walker. It was just hilarious. And like you said, Grant, you said John Walker shows what America really is, but he also shows what America thinks they are, and like the perception of America to everyone else. And I think that is the more hilarious part of how he thinks he's just right, just oh so right in every single thing, even when it's going to a foreign place and murdering a man. Even after the fact, he still thought he was right. So
he tried to justify by telling a lie, like I did it because he killed such and such. Like he didn't do that. That's not what happened. Trying to rewrite history. Also, it was at one point he told somebody like, "Do you know who I am?" And like one of those like people in a foreign country said, "I know who you are, but I don't care.
I do not give a fuck."
Hey, I do want to say this. I do want to say this real quick though. Carly, she has some underrated hands, man. Because it was some moments in there where, like, I'm like, Bucky, you were trained super soldier. Why are you getting like? Why are you? I can give Falcon.
Okay,
I can give Falcon the benefit of the doubt because he ain't got hands like Bucky. But Bucky, why was you getting mixed like that?
This, I'll get to not to get too far off the point.
Hold back a lot.
Yeah, I was gonna say, since we're talking about people's hands before I get to my favorite character, I thought this was funny. Like Bucky is like, even before the supers and stuff, like he was in the military, like Bucky was trained in combat and stuff, and as a Winter Soldier, he had all this information that he still has access to, like streamlined in his brain. He knows all these fighting styles. Like he's supposed to be this like super combatant, like weapon. But Bucky was fighting this show just like a dude. Like he wasn't
like he a GTA pedestrian.
Like he was just like throwing hands like just a dude, and I was like, you are trained in every fighting style on the planet. You can like dislocate somebody's shoulder by stepping on their toe if you wanted to, and like you out here. I was like, no, what are you doing? Why are you fighting? Like
so many
like,
times he
like,
gave somebody like a strong forearm, they just flew into a wall, just left the situation, just kept moving.
But even with the super soldiers, like Bucky, like you can beat them because you have tactical skills that they don't. But he was like Bucky was fighting like he was Mike Tyson, and I was like, you are quite literally a video game character.
Like,
why are you fighting like Floyd
Mayweather? They were just trying. Go ahead, Grant. Go ahead.
I'm sorry, but like on top of the trucks, bro.
That's what I'm saying. Yes, I was like, Bucky, why are you getting washed like this? You can like when they were holding him down, I was like, 37 moves that can break out of this, but now you're sitting here begging for help. I'm not going to do this with you.
So I'll attribute that one to the element of surprise, because they didn't know them niggas are super soldiers until they was up there, and it's like, oh, now we have super soldiers. Everything else I'm going to say because they were trying to be so opposite to John Walker and not like. Because when he was pegging people in the face with the shield, point blank range for 7 episodes. Like he was trying to end niggas, and I think they were trying with Sam and Bucky trying to show that restraint with it. But yeah, he got washed.
Well, so like
the truck.
It wasn't just pulling punches. I was getting like the way that he was fighting specifically, not necessarily like him holding back. Because like facts, like you can tell that he definitely doesn't want to do that kind of stuff anymore. But like I said, he was fighting like he was Kimbo Slice, and I was like, you are trained in 37 combat styles, and you fight like you in somebody's backyard. Don't do this.
I think there's only so much you can restrain that roundhouse kick to the face.
Man,
there's only so much. Only so much.
Hey, no, Chris, you remember that? Remember what you tweeted on the podcast page? That's how Bucky was fighting.
John Walker before the series.
John, what you say?
John Walker before he mainlined some super soldier serum.
Yeah, like he from Alabama.
All right, Chris, who's your favorite character, real quick?
Sam. Sam's my favorite character. He had a really good arc. He was really compelling. I think he worked well on his own, and then to have the juxtaposition of John Walker to really help grow and propel his story, and just the way that you kind of looked at it and analyzed it, like from where he was at the beginning to like, I don't really want no part of this, to be like at the end, like in the Captain America suit, giving that speech, regardless of how people might feel about the speech as a whole, to be in that scenario, in that suit, giving that speech to those people, and like the character, like the stuff in between was like impactful and it worked well. You know what I mean? It's not like a huge jump from A to B. Like there's like all the stuff in between, and in terms of his character arc that really worked and that built him up to that point. And I like Anthony Mackie as Falcon. I like the Sam Wilson Captain America character in general. So he was definitely my favorite. But like everyone else, John Walker I think was really, really done well. Also, again, just the way he served as juxtaposition, like DeLon said, him thinking that he really got it like that, and America thinking they can kind of do so. There was a line in the episode when, like, right before the Wakandans jump him, when they're coming to get Zemo, and he's like, well, we're taking Zemo, and he's like, well, they don't have jurisdiction here, and they're in like Russia, so they're like, you don't have jurisdiction here either, what are you talking about? So like just that like idea of like DeLon said, of America thinking that it has it that way and it can just do whatever it wants regardless of like, it just doesn't work that way. So it was like little lines and little stuff like that that made him, I think, done really well. I didn't like how at the end, I will say, he kind of just got to stand shoulder to shoulder with the good guys. Like I was like, y'all remember 2 days ago when he was trying to murder you and you had to hit him in the, like, Bucky like ripped the sleeve off and punched him full force in the face with his vibranium arm, and like Sam turned the turbines on his wings and slammed the shield in his face. And I was like, 3 days ago y'all were trying to murder this man, and today he just showed up, and like even then he still showed up doing what they didn't want him to do, showing up trying to kill all the flag smashers. And because like he decided to save that truck, he just got to be cool and walk away. I was like, sir, you are a criminal. What are you talking about?
Wait. He only did, like, in the grand scheme of things, he only did one thing that was incredibly super out of line, but them all being military personnel at some point and having that bond, and especially Bucky, like, they've all done some fucked up shit. And I think they all understand the pressure that he was going through, even though it was wrong. And he, like, in the end, he failed the test of it, being Captain America. So I think they just have that understanding, because he didn't do, like, an overtly amount of asshole things that he wasn't allowed to do. Everything he did asshole in the first 6 episodes, it was kind of, or the first 5 episodes, it was kind of, his ability.
I think like it frustrated me more as a creative choice rather than like how they react. Like, of course, like you said, like he only really did the one bad thing and he kind of got his punishment for it. But I mean, like as a creative choice, like, yeah, let's write John Walker and just come back and just stand with Captain America and the Winter Soldier and just kind of cook. And I was like, and then to go from that to put him in the U.S. agent suit, like knowing the kind of stuff that U.S. agent does, I'm like, there's a lot of jumping around going on here, which works in a way, but I don't know. I wasn't a big fan of the creative choice, like I said, to have him there as essentially one of the good guys, and then to know like the kind of stuff the U.S. agent has done, and like hopefully he'll do some of that stuff. But it's gonna be such a stark jump from him showing up and being the good guy, and then all of a sudden when he starts doing shitty U.S. agent stuff again, you're gonna be like, you pick a lane.
I had that same thought when they were walking through those tunnels, and then Sam like, all right, y'all supposed to go that way. They just like went. I think the only thing that bothered me was the complete lack of conversation. All in all, I understand them coming together, but if they were, just like even like a little Marvel cliche of like he saves the bus, he looks down at Bucky looks at him, and then they go into some acknowledgement that hey, we're on this side, because he just pulls up. Like, if I was Bucky, I would have swung on him.
I was also crying as him showing up with that Dollar General shield and throwing it. Literally does not work. Like, he throws it and Carly just kicks it, and then it just like hits the wall and it just crumples up, and they just start beating the shit out of him. Yeah, I thought that was hilarious. Like he showed up with that sheet metal shield like it was gonna work like vibranium, and they quite literally just kicked it into a wall and it had a dent in it, and he was like, oh, well.
All right. So I don't think I have any other words. I didn't tell who my favorite character is. My favorite character is probably between Sam and Zemo. For like anytime Zemo was on screen, I was either laughing or like really like what's he doing? What's he gonna do? What's he gonna do? What's he gonna do? What's he gonna do? I was like that the entire show. So I'd have to say Zemo's probably the most entertaining character for me, and my favorite character is probably Sam, because Sam had me choked up a couple of times over the course of the show, and I was really rooting for him and like really excited about him becoming the new Captain America, as well as just the monologue he gave at the end. I thought there was some parts in that I didn't agree with, but ultimately I felt like for his character, for what he was trying to do and become and what he's trying, I feel like he was done really well. So yeah, I don't have any other thoughts on the show. You guys have any other things before we move on to the next thing? You guys have any other thoughts, closing thoughts?
2 things. One, I don't think there was any way he could have 100% of that speech. Like, in the grand scheme of things, there was no way that speech was going to be all like, boom. Yeah, but I think, like you said, I think they did a good enough job to hold it over. He didn't come off sound like a coon. He didn't come off sounding like a terrorist. So I guess they found the middle ground there. My last thing. What was my last thing? Oh well, I guess I forgot it.
Shout out to Emily.
Fuck Sharon Carter.
Okay.
Fuck Sharon Carter. That's it.
Yeah. So shout out to Emily. She just said, just chilling. She in the chat. Glad to have you here, Emily. So what we're going to do next is we're going to play a game called Problematic Opinions. And then we're going to play a game called I think we're going to play Who's That Avenger first. I think that's what we're going to do. So Who's That Avenger? You guys have all played Pokemon. You've all watched Pokemon early in the mornings. And they'll be like, they'll cut the commercial break like, who's that Pokemon? It'll be a shaded out character. And then you have to guess what the Pokemon it is. So we're about to play that. We're about to play Who is That Avenger or Avenger.
Okay, about to say, are we specifically doing? Yeah, I'll go last. I'll sit out.
Give us a 5 second delay on Chris.
All right. 3, 2, 1. Who is that Avenger?
Give us a 5 second delay on Chris.
Yeah, I'll go last. I'll sit out.
Just a 5-second delay. Just
Well,
5
no,
seconds.
That's
well,
fine.
no,
That's
well,
fine.
Because
well,
then
well,
go
but
ahead.
what we will do is we'll start with like DeLon, then it'll be Grant, then it'll be Byron, then it'll
Oh, the
be Chris.
pressure.
We'll,
Okay.
we'll let Chris go last. And if nobody gets it on the first try, then I'll give a hint, and then we'll start back at the beginning for that first person. But we'll also take turns letting somebody go first, just so it's a little bit more fair. Because like, what if Grant knows it? Because it's a competition. So
Yeah. Last question: are these MCU Avengers?
these are MCU Avengers and villains. Well, no. Take that back. They're not MCU. Not all of them are MCU.
Okay.
Some of them just straight up.
I gotta sit out then.
Some of them are just straight up heroes and straight up villains from
I'm
shows.
supposed to know this nigga by his pecs and his outline.
Yes. I mean, I also don't know like everybody's knowledge of like comic books and stuff like that. I know Chris and Grant would know a good bit. I figure Byron would know some too. So
I Wikipedia a lot. All right, let's go. I'm ready.
All right. So we're gonna start first. DeLon, you're up first. Who's that Avenger?
I know those thighs.
I'm crying.
That is. I do not know.
All right, Grant, you're up next. Who's that Avenger?
Oh,
I'm gonna give you 10 seconds.
On cards.
Is that Iron Fist?
It is. It's Iron Fist.
Yeah.
So Grant gets the first point. Shout out to Grant.
Okay. Shout out to Grant.
So we'll go to Byron next. Byron, who's that Avenger?
Ooh wee.
Sorry.
You are foul for this.
See,
You are super foul for this one. I want you to know that.
I had to use some obscure ones so that it would be hard.
I'm gonna go Scarlet Witch. I'm not sure.
It is not Scarlet Witch. Chris, you're up next.
That is Captain Marvel.
Incorrect. It's not Captain Marvel.
Wait, it's not.
No, it's not.
I said it looks like the older outfit, but I guess not.
It's DeLon, your turn. Who's
Squirrel Girl.
It's not Squirrel Girl.
Tail not bushy. I guess it's not a tail in general.
Who's that Avenger?
Oh, come back to me.
Is it Jean Grey?
It is not Jean Grey, but it's time for the first hint. It is someone in the X-Men universe. So Byron, who's that Avenger MCU character? Who's the MC character? Who's the Marvel?
Yeah, you got my brain tuned to Avenger. That's all I thought it was Captain Marvel.
My bad. Who's that Marvel character? My mistake.
Is it Storm?
It is not Storm. Chris, who's that Marvel character?
I think Chris Googling images.
No, Pet and Dobby. Okay, it's the sash that's throwing me off, but I feel like I know who this is. It's not Captain Marvel. This is. You said it's an X-Men character. Is it Rogue? It's not Rogue, but I'm gonna just say Rogue.
It's not Rogue.
Yeah, I was gonna say it's not.
Lon, you seem like you really knew who it was.
I was actually going to say Rogue. So I'm going to say the woman who has like.
I think I know, but this is very obscure. I want to go again. You wouldn't do that though.
Is it the one with like the sword hand thingies, or like uses swords? Is it? I can't
No,
think of it.
it's not.
Okay.
Grant, who is Grant? Grant looks stressed. Grant, who is this?
Starting pulling our cards.
Grant, who is? You got 10 seconds.
I'm puzzled.
Just say a woman in
Not puzzled.
X-Men universe.
Say a woman's
Back to
name.
me. Name a woman.
Any woman. 10 seconds. Grant, you lost your turn. We're back at Byron. Here's the next hint. It is a villain in the X-Men universe.
Oh, I don't know a lot of. Was Mystique? I don't know.
Give me somebody.
I can't even think of one, Jordan.
Okay. Chris, is your go.
That's not Psych Lock, is it?
It is not.
Oh, yeah, we just sat down. Dang it.
DeLon, your go.
I don't know, Jordan. I think it might be
Grant,
that time, man.
Your go, Grant.
Is it Agatha?
It's not. This character is known for being other people. Byron, your go.
Oh, dang. Yeah,
I think somebody.
I think somebody said Mystique.
Yeah, somebody said that.
Somebody said Mystique.
But Byron said, I think it might be Mystique, but I don't know. And he didn't commit to it, so I didn't say.
I guess.
No, I'm with you, Jordan.
Yeah, Mystique.
That don't look it. That
It's
didn't
the
look
sash.
it.
It's the sash that threw. It's the cape that threw me
that's
off.
the sash. It's the front of her dress. It looked like the sash. It made it look like Captain Marvel. The pose and everything. Because before she had the red and blue suit that she has now, she had the black with the lightning bolt and the sash off to the side. So I was still thinking Avenger 2, and I was like, "Oh, yep, got him. We got action. I know who that is."
What's up, Medulla Shooter? Yes, it is Mystique.
Chance, what's happening?
We had to, like I said, I had to make some outlines.
That was a good one. That is
ambiguous.
That's a good
That
one.
was a
Yeah,
good
that's a
one.
good one.
Yeah, I had to do that so that Grant and Chris would struggle, and it'll give
Because that looked like three different people. That was a good one.
All right, so that means Chris, you're up first this time. So right now, Grant and Byron both have 1 point. Chris, who is that MCU character? Marvel character. God,
The Punisher.
that is correct. That is the Punisher.
Frank Castle himself.
Good one.
Knew about all the hammers on him.
You knew them pecs.
Yeah, he built the same almost every comic. Not really. He's sometimes a little bit slimmer. But also, I saw 3 guns and I was like, yeah, he a little too buff to be Deadpool. I know exactly who this is. he can do a little bit too many push-ups to be Deadpool.
All right, DeLon, you're up next. Who's that Marvel character?
This another wild outline.
Yeah, I know. It looks like a fucking Pokemon.
That's Magmar, ain't it? Ain't that Magmar? That's not Magmar.
Oh my goodness.
6, 7, 8,
Damn, Grant.
9, 10.
Go ahead and pass.
Grant, you're up next, man. Who's this, Grant?
I'm gonna take a guess. I'm gonna say Ghost Rider.
It is. It's Ghost Rider.
Hey.
That damn chain. I was like,
He was the
chain.
He was the chain and the flames. I was like, man, they can only be one person.
I thought his head was like a. Can you go back to the outline, Jordan?
Yeah, I got you.
Okay, so I thought his head was like an animal's head, right? And I thought it was a bird's head, and I was like, is he that flying nigga from X-Men? And I just couldn't think of his name, and I thought he was holding a tail.
Okay, so next one, Byron, you're up. Who's that Marvel character?
You are sick for this.
That's the Incredible Hulk right there.
It is not the Hulk.
Dog said, who's that Avenger? And had one Avenger, and then everybody else.
All right, Chris, who is this?
This nigga funny.
See, I would have thought the Hulk too. I thought it'd be like an older one because that bowl cut he's got. But if it's not him, is this the thing? I can't tell if those like on the side of his head are his eyes, or if that's part of the hair. Because you had when you had the Iron Fist one, the eye holes are weird. So I want to say, is this the thing? But it's not. It is okay, bro. The head part was so weird. That's what I thought it was. I was like,
the thing is, I thought it was that villain from, like, it was a
Abomination.
I think so.
I thought it was either the Thing or Colossus.
Yeah, that's who I thought it was.
So I'm at 2.
I thought it was Thing or Hulk.
So that's two for Chris, 2 for Grant, 1 for Byron, and 0 for DeLon.
Chance said blob. Chance, you supposed to say that's the Juggernaut. That's your thing.
All right, DeLon, keep
Loki.
Ain't that easy?
Yeah.
On
the board. Didn't get a wheel. All right. So now it's Grant's turn. Grant, who's that?
You're kidding. You're kidding.
Thank you for the gimme. Silver
You
Surfer.
ain't serve that up to Byron. You ain't want to serve that up to Byron, man. Come on.
I put him in random order.
You have to say his real name. You can't say Silver Surfer. What's his actual name? Let me tell you his actual name for half a
Shut
point.
the hell up.
Let me tell you his actual name for half a point, please.
Can't do that, Chris. Can't do it. All right, Byron. Who's that Marvel character?
Man. What the fuck?
That's also funny because that kind of looks like two people, but there are things that let you know who it is. But this is also a funny one.
Is that Beast?
It is Beast.
Yeah, it's like
It
if you look
is.
just at the top of the head,
Oh, you was gonna say I thought it was Wolverine for a second.
Yeah, because you have to look at the feet to see the feet, but if you just
Yeah,
look at the
them
top, it looks like
toes.
Logan's hair or the eye parts on some of his older costumes.
All
That's
right.
Daredevil, by the way. Don't even ask me.
Yeah, it is. Daredevil.
Hello, can you hear? Okay, let's say my thing is glitching, so I've been worried I'm gonna lose my turn because it's gonna go silent on my end, and you're gonna be counting to 10. And so as soon as it comes up, I have to yell it just in case my Wi-Fi starts twerking. So that's like, yeah, save me some bandwidth. Do not ask me a question. It's Daredevil.
All right, that concludes. That's all I got. Those are the Marvel characters I have. The final score was 3 for Chris, 3 for Grant, 1 for Delon, and 2 for Byron. I wish I had a tiebreaker. I need to start saving like one of these off to the side in case.
Man, I'm telling you, let me tell you, Silver Surfer's real name. That's a tiebreaker right there.
All right, Chris, what's Silver Surfer's real name? Grant, fact check it to make sure he ain't lying. Because he might say a name. I don't know what the answer is.
Should be Norin Rad.
Let me see real quick.
You don't have to be a real tiebreaker. I was just fucking with Grant, but
Yeah.
it should be his real name.
Just make sure. Just hold Chris accountable. Make sure you ain't just making bullshit up on.
Not hold me accountable.
What did you say it was,
My
Chris?
girl.
Norin Rad.
It's right or whatever. It's right or whatever.
Chris, you are wrong. It is Keedron Bryant.
I'm a young silver man.
Oh
Yes, Chris,
boy. So next up, the next game we're gonna play is called Problematic Opinions. Chris and Delon have had a chance to play it. Grant and Byron, you guys have not. So the way the game goes is that I had all y'all submit to me unpopular opinions and hot takes. And none of y'all know. So none of y'all know whose take is whose. I'm the only one that knows. I'm gonna write somebody's take on stream, and I want the rest of the people. Well, I'm gonna choose somebody. We're gonna take turns. So it'll be Chris' turn. Chris is gonna have to guess which of the other 3 people said this hot take based off of just what's written on the screen. So let me get the first one. So Chris, you technically won. So we'll let you go first.
Okay.
Give me a category. But I'm gonna give you 3 I'm gonna give you categories.
I was gonna say, did we fill out all 5? I know you asked us which ones are.
Yeah, I managed to get something for all the categories. So give me something for either general, video games, comics, food, or movies.
I will do movies.
Okay, let me find.
Not
one.
Delon covered his mouth. Nah, Delon, don't run.
Hey, my mouth has been covered for 5 since the last
Don't
game.
run.
Don't do that.
Don't
Don't do
run.
that. I actually pulled out my nose since the last game. I gave you that.
All right.
Spreading the virus.
All right. Okay. Here's one.
I almost said a terrible thing.
Yeah, see.
It was a song.
Chill.
All right. Give me just a second. Typing it up, making the font big so everybody can see it. Make it bigger. Let's see.
That's what she said.
All right.
Delon, you're an adult. You're an adult.
Please act like it, Delon. Jesus.
I know.
All right. So here's the first one.
Okay, Grass. I said movies.
You get one go. Chris, a lot of poorly received stories would have been classic if they were presented in video game instead of movie format. Whose opinion was this, Chris?
Is this Grant?
It is not Grant. I just love how you didn't even sit there to think about it even a little bit. It was not Grant.
I did. It's my delay. I sat here for a second. It just seemed like I answered automatically. I sat here for a second.
First of all, I completely disagree with this opinion. Second of all,
That's me guessing. It's the way it's worded. That's how I try to go off of sometimes.
What does that mean?
The words that are in there sometimes, I'm like, yeah, this is a Grant sentence.
Man, I don't use the word received in my takes.
This is actually hilarious. So the answer it was actually DeLon's take. This is
Why do I always do that? I never think stuff like this is DeLon. DeLon is always my first thought, and I'm like, no, it's
video
not
games.
DeLon, though.
Video games was the flag right there.
I almost said it earlier.
Yeah.
When I was like movie versus TV show versus, and I almost said it.
All right.
You gotta save it, so.
All right.
Also, wait, before we go on, The Last of Us video game will hit a lot harder than The Last of Us television series.
Huge facts.
Bet on it.
Oh. But also, because you get like flawless acting. That's another benefit from video games. A lot of times, like you don't have to rely on the human element. You can just literally program.
Pedro Pascal.
30 plus hours.
Scene done better. That's the homie
30
though.
plus hours. You're making the decisions. You're feeling the repercussions rather than just watching it play out. And you deal with the frustrations of fucking up.
All right, Grant, you want to go next? All right, Grant, here's the categories: general, video games, comics, food, or movies.
It's gonna be funny as shit. Let's go with general.
All right, general. We only got one in general, but I'm about to pull it. All right. Let's see. Also, I gotta be a lot faster at this because this is awkward, to say the least.
And all that time on the little cutouts, huh?
Yeah. It's hard oscillating between the two screens, like trying to type so y'all don't see who said what. Okay, yeah, I did it right. All right. Our generation glorifies all the wrong things, creating a market for drama and chaos, pulling our attention away from the important things and dividing us so we don't have control over things we should. Grant, who said this?
I'm gonna keep you rigid, man. This is a Chris ass opinion right here. This screams Chris. I'll be surprised if it's not Chris, but man, the way it's worded out, I think I gotta be Chris.
Chris, is this your opinion?
No, what? Look how long this is. This is an opinion. This is a thesis statement. You think I would say that many words for something like this? If you gonna talk about I would never use the phrase poorly received. You think I'm using glorified like that?
That was actually Byron.
Hey, that nigga Byron kind of spitting in that.
He was spitting though. He was spitting though.
Like, hey, is that me? Is that...
Byron, Grant, you said I talk like Robot from Invincible. That's what you sit here doing. You said I'm Robot. Word.
That boy Byron kind of spitting.
Byron, what inspired that? What did you see on the gram that made you say that?
I don't know.
He saw a young boy meme. That's what he saw.
All right, Byron. So you're up next. Byron, give me a category: video games, comics, food, or movies.
Food.
Food. Okay, this is good. There's a lot of ones in here. Let's see which one I want to use. Okay, I'm gonna use this one. I'm gonna use this one. Actually, no. I'm gonna use.
I just wanna live.
I'm gonna use this one.
God.
It does kind of work as a Silver Surfer song. You just got to change a couple words. It still works. Like Grant saying Silver Surfer's Keegan Brown. Like if you change like a handful of words in that song, it still kind of works.
Fantastic Four betrayed us.
All right, Byron. Reese's Better Buttercups are top 2 candy chocolate, and it's not 2.
It's a fire opinion, by the way.
Reese's Better Buttercups are top 2.
I think you meant to put peanut.
I think this is Grant.
It is not me, but I totally agree with it.
Wow.
If y'all say anything, my thing is it's frozen.
Okay, it's actually DeLon's opinion. This is DeLon's.
Guys, the funny thing is, Grant said that's a fire opinion, so it's not Grant. And then Chris said, I think he meant to say peanut. So it's not Chris.
Well, I mean, like Jordan typing it, because even when Jordan read it, he read better butter.
I probably texted it wrong.
Yeah,
You fool.
You could have helped out, Jordan. You could have helped out.
I just copy and pasted things. I did not know what you meant. I just copy and pasted things.
Hey,
after reading,
top one.
Guys, act like we're friends. Act like I kind of know each other.
I ain't got to answer yet. I got
okay, you're right. DeLon has a all right, DeLon. Boom. So
never miss.
Categories.
I know.
We got video games. We got comics. We got food, and we got movies still on the board. What you want?
Give me video games.
Video games coming right up. Let's see. Here we go. And we're off. Soulsborne games watered down the RPG genre.
So it's not Byron. I don't think Byron used the term Soulsborne.
Speaking of wiring, Jacob said wiring looks exactly how he sounds. Take that. How you?
I am going to call it, for the reason that the other person plays nothing but MLB 2K or MLB The Show, Grant. I will call it Grant.
Grant, is this your opinion?
Yes, it is my opinion. I love RPG games. I just feel like Soulsborne games are just. Because the thing is, I've always been like I'm a huge fan of open world RPG, like Far Cry, Nier, all that type of stuff. I don't get the hype about Soulsborne games. I'm gonna
let Rashad choke you off screen later on that opinion, Grant. But Jacob is talking spicy in the chat. He said, "Now seeing what Grant looked like, I'm coming with the most respect. I think I can take him." Your arch nemesis challenged you to a duel, Grant.
I ain't gonna be no duel. I tell you that.
All right.
So recognize I have never missed. I know these boys.
Yeah, you do. I say that DeLon takes an interest in you guys. Y'all should all feel proud that he loves y'all enough to pay attention to y'all.
Sweetheart.
Hannibal Lecter was taking interest in people too. Hold on. That's not comforting.
All right, so we're back at you, Chris. Give me a do you want to do video games, comics, food, or movies?
I'll do food.
Food is up.
Hey, Byron, my dog.
Flop. Now I think about it.
Byron, my dog. This is a really weird camera angle. I don't like it.
Very alarming.
I'm about to fix it.
That nigga just trying to flex his beard, but I just need you to get it. He's just trying to show y'all it connects.
All right. Raising Cane's is better than Chick-fil-A. Chris, whose opinion is this?
He said,
that's what I thought after I said food. I was like, boy, I have not talked about food with any of these people before.
Except Pop-Tarts.
The thing is, yeah, y'all try to slander me because I don't make my Pop-Tarts hot like a weirdo. Anyway, the thing is, this is so crazy because I feel like this could be any of them. I'm trying to think like it has to be a regional thing where somebody could have Raising Cane like that, but all these people are from places where they could have cane. So that doesn't help me narrow it down. Man. Jordan, you going to hell for making me choose on this one, by the way. This is tough. There's no way to narrow this down at all right now.
I chose this one.
Man. I'm trying to analyze all the words that are being put in there. Mm-hmm.
Oh man.
This is fact, Jacob. This isn't fair. This is gonna be. I'm gonna say this is wiring bots. Oh no, it's not. Is that Byron?
Byron, is this you?
I think he was transitioning.
Yeah, it is Byron. It
It is
is
Byron.
That's me. My bad. I was still on mute.
Let me tell you something. Let me tell you something. Once upon a time, my junior year at the University of Mississippi.
That's what I started to remember.
Once upon a time, the University of Mississippi. Me and my boy Jordan, not this Jordan, we had an apartment. Byron still lived in the dorms by way of his scholarship. Every day after he got off work, he would go over to the Union, get some damn Raising Canes, bring that bitch over to my apartment, and have my house smell like chicken every day at 5 p.m. To the point that he just throw his little trash in our trash cans to just smell like chicken all the time. To the point where I have not eaten Raising Canes since 2016 because of him. I used to love it. I can't eat it anymore.
I despise Raising Canes. Like,
not despise.
It just makes me want to.
All right, so Grant, it's your go. Pick a category.
Wait. Time. Better than Chick-fil-A?
Yeah, man. Like,
better than Chick-fil-A.
Hey,
King sauce has a lot to do with it, but the toast, the fries.
Dog, just take a spoonful of salt. It's the same thing.
Don't do that.
I mean, them tenders do be salty.
All right, Grant. Video games, comics, food, or movies.
Let's go comics.
All right, comics coming right up. Oop, I didn't mean to put that way down there, but I'm gonna fix it. The Star Wars TV series on Disney Plus were better than the Marvel TV series on Disney Plus.
Hey, first of all, before I say who it is, this is absolutely right. Second of all, man, actually, with pretty much any Star Wars series going forward from Disney Plus. Anyway, man.
And I got this.
I got some. Because the thing is, one thing is that I never really hear Jordan talk about Star Wars.
No.
Second,
it'll never gonna be me. By the way, I didn't preface that to you and Byron. I didn't explain it to y'all. It'll never be me because since I could see everything, it wouldn't be fair.
Second, Chris, he not like a. I ain't gonna say you don't like Star Wars, but I don't think him like a super fan. Third, I don't know Byron opinions like that because I don't really discuss Byron opinions like that. Like, I ain't really hearing what he like and don't like. But man, if I recall, and correct me if I'm wrong, I might be wrong on this. I think I gotta go with DeLon on this one.
DeLon, is it your opinion?
I sat through the first 20 minutes of The Mandalorian and turned that shit off.
No! So
they didn't talk for 20 minutes. Jesus Christ. I tried to get on season 2, episode 1, did the same thing. Turn that shit off.
Yeah, it was Byron. It was Byron.
I respect the opinion though, Byron.
Yeah, I think The Last Jedi is like a top 2 or 3 Star Wars movie, so I'm not exactly a shield for Star Wars. Last Jedi is insane heat rock to me, so.
No, hold on. I'm not talking about, I said the TV series, not the Disney Star Wars.
No, it's just general shade. It's just general shade.
I was just talking in general. I was like, I'm not high on Star Wars in the way that I would maybe think it's better than some stuff because how much I like The Last Jedi probably make me like not exactly everybody's resident Star Wars fan, even though I'm right.
All right, so now we only have 3 categories left. We got video games, food, movies. What you guys feeling? Well, that's what you guys. It's actually Byron's turn. So Byron, what you feeling?
Byron.
What are the 3 options again?
Food, movies, and video games.
Let's go food again.
Food again. Here we go.
Oh Lord.
I'm gonna choose this one. Actually, no. I'm gonna choose this one. I don't know why I did the Mermaid Barnacle Boy music, but here we go. Stop ODing on butter when you cook. It'll be okay. Find those substitutes.
Okay. Dang, I don't know. Who's real health conscious? I don't talk about that a lot. I know DeLon doesn't cook too much, but he started to a little bit more. I don't know much about Grant. What I gotta figure out on this one is who used the term ODing in that. Oh man. I'm gonna say Chris.
Chris, is this your opinion?
It is not.
Oh yeah.
I agree with it though, but it's not me.
It's none other than the boy DeLon. This was DeLon's opinion.
Yeah, so that's
I knew it was
the way
I
it's
knew it was DeLon the way it was
the way
worded.
it's worded. Find those substitutes, my brother. You know that's what DeLon said.
Listen, my brother. Salt and butter
See
are
what-
killing the black community, my brother. We need to move away from it.
I don't really feel like it.
I'm assuming Byron said. Byron said it's all in the it's all in who would use ODing. I said okay, bet because it wouldn't be Grant. I'm pretty sure he wouldn't assume Chris. I was like, okay, he got this. He got this one.
DeLon was the second place, but you know.
Yeah, Jacob, you tearing it up. Jacob's 3 for 3. He's technically 3 for 3 in the chat. He's been saying them before y'all have. So now it's DeLon's turn. We still have enough to keep going. Video games, food, or movies, DeLon.
Give me video games.
We're taking video games. Let's go. All right, take this one. And here we go. First person shooters get boring very fast.
Chris.
Chris, is that you?
It is.
Yeah.
Hey, Byron would never say that.
Yeah, I was saying we in a group.
Byron would never say that, and Chris would never touch it. So I'm gonna go with Chris.
So yeah,
Look, they almost pulled me back in with that Warzone commercial. I'm going to download it and play it, and then by like Wednesday, I'm like, you know what I could do with this 700 gigs on my PlayStation? Anything else? But maybe I'll have fun again.
Download Wikipedia in its entirety.
Have all the knowledge rather than play Warzone. So I think DeLon, you got 2 points. Is that how many points you have?
2 for 2. 2 for 2.
I think
I've got
0.
one.
Okay. So I think
Am I the only person who got something right?
I've got one.
Okay.
I got
Chris-
right.
Chris, Byron, and Grant haven't got one right, but Chris got one.
Listen, Jordan. They swept me on Marvel, but I swept them on friendship.
There you go. You know the things that matter, DeLon. That's
No.
they don't. That's the problem here. That's their problem. Pay more attention to your friends who are on stream. Because the funny thing is, Chris has said, well, you knew it, DeLon, but Chris has said that multiple times. So I thought that
I
was
think like in my Posse, like my introduction video was like favorite game and genre and least favorite. I was like least favorite first person shooter. Glad I think I sent that videos to you too.
I forgot about that.
So that was I was sitting there thinking to myself I've heard Chris say this before, but I just assumed it was on a stream. Jacob said you gotta get the new Hawkeye game. Chris, he said Flaming Arrows.
Me and Jacob was running K Bishop and Hawkeye last night. DeLon and Rashad, they could have just sat out. We had it. Once Jacob stopped dying every 10 minutes, he was kind of cooking. Let Jacob cook.
10 seconds. Come on now.
We got one more. We'll do one more just so you could possibly tie. Well, actually, we'll give you a chance to tie, Chris.
Okay.
Wait, I thought it was my turn.
You ain't got a chance to tie, my brother.
I mean, technically, it would have been Chris' turn.
Okay.
Yeah, it was usually it's Chris' turn after DeLon anyway. So for a chance to tie, Chris, so you have some dignity, and you would have tied in both games tonight. We got food, we got movies, and then we still have video games. Yeah.
I'll do movies.
The movies coming right up. Doo-doo-doo-doo-doo. And here we go. Ant-Man is a underrated movie.
Now I'm trying. I think I know who said this, only because I think they were live tweeting it the other day, and I think they didn't care for it at first, and they're live tweeting their opinion changed. I think I know who this is.
Live tweeting?
But there's another person that I feel like would share the same opinion based on what I know about this movie. I think this is Grant. I think.
Grant, is it you?
Fuck you, nigga.
Yes or no?
That man said live.
Yes, no,
tweeting.
because when you did
I'm just doing the
movies,
thing
I
I'm
was
on,
like,
delay.
when you did movies, I was like, man, this gonna be bad because I know for a fact Chris the only big, like Chris the other big comic book fan in the chat, so I know he gonna get it.
Yeah.
And the thing
I
is,
would agree with you, man. Ant-Man was a hilarious movie. Like, as far as comedy goes, Ant-Man topped it.
it's like, man, with Ant-Man, it's like, I feel like it's one of those origin films that just, I ain't gonna say it's perfect, nothing like that, but it's like, hey, man, he a working class superhero. He trying to take down that establishment. Old boy come pick him up and be like, hey, bro, put on this suit. You're gonna be a superhero now. And they trying to take down tyranny. I respect it.
So that's it. Because
Wait, Jordan. Are either the last two questions answered by me or Chris? Because I think we can tiebreaker this.
Let me see. Well, it wouldn't be fair. Well, yeah, actually, by telling you that, DeLon,
It can either be is it Byron or Grant?
Okay, we'll
Here's what we can do. We can both use a reaction. First one to raise their hand
okay.
can answer the question.
Okay, and I'll give y'all 5 seconds to respond. So you won't.
You taking advantage of my bandwidth being trash. You evil.
Who?
You're evil.
DeLon, a bandwidth bandit.
A devious individual. No pressure. Yeah, I'm sure there's no pressure for you. I'm sure. I believe it.
Come on now.
All right. So we do have let me see. Yeah, we got one that's not either of you two. So
Perfect.
So here we go. All right.
We doing? We raising our hands?
First,
shit,
the
it
second
changed.
best game.
Raise my hand.
Oh yeah, you did. It's too late. Chris, who's this? Byron or Grant?
That is Grant.
You see it, Chris?
Man, when you switch to that in full screen, so the reactions button just disappears.
Hey, man.
You can actually raise your hand. I'm on my iPad, so it would take me.
Oh,
Hey, man,
I had to raise my actual hand.
In terms of the full package, mechanics, story, all that stuff, Kingdom Hearts Birth by Sleep, second best
that
game.
nigga Grant been talking to me about Kingdom Hearts for the last 38 hours, man.
You said you were gonna play. You need
I was so ready for that.
What's up, Chiz? Chiz says, rate this bar. Bank account built like a bee who got that booty done because my money thick.
Yeah, that ain't it.
Wait,
Words of
0 out of
Charlemagne.
10. 0 out of
The
10.
words of Charlemagne.
wait. Hold on, pause. Grant, can you say the bar, please? I just need to hear it. I just need to hear it a little differently.
Absolutely not.
Did you say the bar? I just need to hear it a little bit differently.
I need to hear it again.
Chris, you want to read it? Want to read it?
I will not. I do not put trash into the universe. I can't.
Oh, come on, Chris.
No, what is? I'm with you.
If he wants Grant,
Oh,
I can't
I
find the
ain't reading
reading.
it.
they
they
ain't
outside
put-
the Staples Center's asking Grant to read it. What the thing got nothing to do with me? They in Madison Square Garden chanting Grant. What they got to do with me?
Jesse said Ant-Man 2 was a great movie as well. Chris, was it not? Was it not, Chris?
I'm just playing. I'm just kidding.
Jesse, I'm not reading that. What the hell is wrong with you?
Read the bar,
Read
Grant.
the bar, Grant.
Read it, Grant. Oh,
Jake, you need
man.
to sit your ass down.
If I can find the rhythm, I would read it. But I can't find the rhyme.
Oh,
So,
man. It's right before Jesse says Ant-Man 2
No, I mean, like, I can't find the rhyme. Like,
I think B and thick were supposed to rhyme. The B word and thick were supposed to rhyme.
yeah.
Can we see what other opinions were left?
Okay, yeah, we could do that. I'll even put whose name is up there next to it, which wasn't many left. Some of them were left because they were past opinions from like the last time we played. I just kept them so I wouldn't have to bother people. So
I think all mine got used up.
Yeah, they did because of that last take. So we'll talk about these one by one. I think that'd be fun. And then I think we'll wrap it up. So it's really only 3 left. And they were all
booty thick.
Let's see. I think that's all of them.
Cause her booty thick.
Oh, you still stuck on that line, DeLon? DeLon like it.
Yeah.
Let's see. All right. And the last opinions that were left problematic opinions was DeLon said onions are the superior flavor enhancer. I think a lot of people would agree with that.
Ooh, Chris.
I had in and out. I have seen the light. Jake, seems like you about to go after Abraham Lincoln. Oh, go out like Abraham Lincoln. That's even funnier. I'm crying. They said Caesar got the drop on Graham.
Chris said Whataburger is mid. I agree. Whataburger is fucking terrible.
Outside the honey butter chicken biscuit.
I don't.
Man, so the Whataburgers in Texas hit so different than the ones in Mississippi. When I moved here, I was not expecting there to be a big difference. There it is.
I would tell you what, if Whataburger made good food in Texas and I came to Mississippi and ate a Whataburger, I would ride. Because
Bro, the one in Jackson is so terrible.
I was angry.
Jackson's so
I
terrible.
was angry, man.
it is awful.
In Texas, Whataburger is like, that's like one of the big restaurants. Like, it's not like Chick-fil-A like it is here or anything, but that was one of the places where I was at.
DeLon, you said this the other day, Texas is a cult. I believe it. And then last but not least, Chris says Mortal Kombat having the iconic moves and fatalities did not make it a good movie. So early review of Mortal Kombat from Chris, not a good movie. Or at least those things didn't make it a good movie.
Because everyone's big thing has been like, oh, you're watching it for the dialogue or the plot. Like, we're not trying to see that. We're there for the moves and all this. But like the actual fighting and the moves everybody talks about make up maybe like 6 minutes of the runtime. Like, you combine all the fights and like the 7 seconds a piece they would use doing the fatalities. It's like 6 seconds. It's 6 minutes of the runtime. So like, I still have to watch the other hour and a half of stuff that's like bad dialogue and bad plot. Like, I can't just ignore that kind of stuff. So like that's what took me out of here. It's like, yeah. And like the fight choreography was cool, but like the fights themselves weren't just like over the top great. Like, it was when they did the fatalities that were cool. But then like the dialogue and all the stuff in between, like I said, the 6 minutes of the cool stuff, I was like, I don't like this. So I can't call it a good movie because, Scorpion said, get over here. I saw that in the trailer, man. I see that in all the games. That's not enough for me. I have to like more than the things I already know about.
That's very valid. So it does not sound like a good time. Especially since I think Anton said the movie was like 2 hours long, and I'm like, okay, 2 hours, 6 minutes of fighting, I'm okay. Cause he said that's like if you like into the fighting stuff, that's what you'll love. But I'm like, okay, I know they ain't fighting the entire time.
Yeah, I ain't know they're quite literally not.
Okay, yeah, I'm good on it. Let's see. Chisma asked, what was the name first? The orange, the color, or orange, the fruit?
I wasn't there. I don't know.
That's
definitely like you had to have been there. That's the most you had to have been there.
What if I told you it was orange, the flavor?
Ooh, so what came first? The flavor, the fruit, or the color?
The flavor or the thing that the flavor is in, what came first? So they just had this random taste line that they could taste, and they decided to engineer a fruit based off of that taste.
Are you going to tell me the orange soda and an orange is the same taste?
It's supposed to be. They're close enough, yes.
But
grape soda are drastically different. Orange and orange soda are close enough.
I get what DeLon's saying. He is saying that what if they drank or ate something that tasted like orange soda, and then they ate a fruit, and it's like this kind of tastes like orange.
It's close
soda.
enough. It's close enough.
And they're both the same color. Close enough, orange.
Like purple drink. Purple is not a. It's not a flavor. Like
Yeah, grape soda and grapes do
I
not
think
taste.
the only way to really know the answer to that is to know what is in the orange flavoring.
Exactly.
Because if orange is in the orange flavoring, we all in trouble.
Gotta reconsider some things. I feel you.
Yeah.
But to answer the question, I think the fruit came first. And then they just got lazy with the naming. They're like, okay, we're gonna call everything after this. Anything that's called
They did the apple, the banana, the coconut, and they were like, fuck it, orange.
Orange. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like they didn't call every red thing after that apple. Like they didn't do that. They called it red, you know. But orange is like, okay, I'm gonna call everything the same color as this orange. I guess. Yeah, I'll go with that. Orange. Because like what are some other natural orange things, like naturally orange things other than oranges? Like what's the carrots? Yeah, that's true. That's true. I was about to say there ain't too many things in nature just orange other than oranges.
Other than
You know, say that. I can't think of anything else.
You know what I'm saying? So like I could see why they probably saw that and it was like the next time they saw anything that was remotely orange, they said, oh, it's just like oranges. Same color. Same color.
I'm trying to rationalize this for 2 minutes.
Hey, this is what the people want. Tangerines, carrots, and potatoes. Potatoes aren't orange.
Sweet potatoes, I guess, on the inside, but like
who?
Grapefruits are orange.
Chris, what potatoes you eating, my guy? That they're orange on the inside. Oh, wait, you think like candy? Yeah.
That's what, like I guess they meant sweet potatoes. So if you thought you regular potatoes they were orange, I bet not.
What? No. Like a red potato? Oh man.
Questions? Anybody else?
Anybody else have any dying questions? Any soul searching questions that you got?
We are trying to make our contractually obligated 10:30 time. So any other questions?
We're 3 minutes away.
Our contractually obligated 10:30 time.
Yeah, sweet potatoes are orange. Do you guys like sweet potatoes?
I do. Yeah, I do.
It's one of those things
It all
that
depends.
like it has to be made specific, like so specifically, and by such certain group of people that it'll be wrong to just say overall I like them. Like lasagna, niggas make bad lasagna, so I just don't default say I like lasagna, but I love lasagna.
I don't know if anybody's ever made lasagna from scratch. Like most time, people like buy it from the store in like a tray, and like they have it already made, just warm it up. Those lasagnas are almost always good. But like homemade lasagna, I haven't had a lot of that. Sweet potatoes, like I said, I didn't give y'all any unpopular opinions. Unpopular opinion, I don't like sweet potatoes. I don't think they're good.
I'm with you.
I don't think they're good. I'll eat them. I've grown up, so now I've gotten to the point where I actually I can enjoy them, but I would never like seek them out. But would you ask DeLon?
Can we direct the next question to Grant? The next question to Grant specifically.
What is the question?
Do you believe the universe is flat? The universe, not the planet. The universe.
Yeah, listen, universe. No, just the sheer description and understanding we have of space and expansion. The universe itself can't be flat.
That's not true.
What?
By the expand like this.
That wouldn't. But that wouldn't make sense.
How do you see? You have to look up to see things. They're not all aligned very directly.
And you're looking up. It depends on the depth that you're looking at, Grant.
Also, there are planets that are bigger than the other ones. So
we are a flat plane. What if our existence is just a flat plane?
No.
But we have visual images of things being higher and lower and being in different places
from the inside.
Vertically.
Listen,
I'm not talking about Earth anymore.
This is horizontal, but the depth makes it different. Maybe we're just here on the depth, and they're there on the depth.
You got this. You sit here using this switch as your indicator of the Earth. Got me crying.
Of the universe. That's what you need to realize. It's the universe.
Okay, but the universe isn't flat though.
No.
Our understanding and our visual perception of the universe.
You can't prove that.
Y'all sound like some Reddit debaters. I tell you,
you can't prove that from the inside.
Gravity wouldn't work if the planet was
literally are a Wall Street bets moderator. Do not talk to me like that.
Oh wow!
I'm also kind of confused, like because like if the universe is flat, like what is underneath us? What's serving as the base so that the universe doesn't expand downward? Like, what is it?
Logic sucks. Joiner is better.
Jacob
We didn't
said,
ask- hey, here's the thing, Jacob. We don't give a fuck about your opinions. We asked if you wanted to know our opinions. We don't give a fuck about your opinions.
Alicia Keys is better than Beyonce.
You don't believe that one.
Joyner stinks and Logic stinks right now for the most part.
Jordan,
Alicia Keys is not better than no Beyonce, Jacob. Please go to hell.
Golly, Grant.
I'm just confused. In what way could Alicia Keys be better? In what? In what? I'm not even a Beyonce fan. I'm just genuinely curious.
Hey! Don't worry about it. Don't let him push this.
Because it
agenda.
doesn't make
worry about it.
sense.
Don't even worry about it. Don't even worry about it. Don't even worry about it. He's trying to push
I just heard
agenda.
a PlayStation 4 beep.
Oh no, that was my heater.
PlayStation
That
4.
was my space heater. That was my space
I
heater.
know that sound
Right.
anywhere. Who's gonna load up?
Why is Jordan's space heater quieter than his PlayStation?
All right. What I tell you about that last night, Delon, you just got out of that.
Exactly, man.
You cannot be cracking these jokes. You just moved on.
Act like I get off PS5 before him. That's the funny thing about it. He got his after me.
I'm in the trenches, so I can't.
He's closer to that way of living than I am.
Yeah. We was like 2 days apart, Jordan. Don't do that.
You barely got out the
Meanwhile,
mud.
I got PS4 and this shit is quiet.
We're gonna get you, Byron. We're gonna get you better. Don't worry.
Byron said he don't need it. He said his PS4 running quiet. What he need a 5 for?
Chill said, "Man, woke up, said, I don't want peace. I want." All right, so that's all I got.
Closing thoughts. Sharon Carter sucks. The universe is flat. Is a flat plane. We don't really exist. And that's it.
Ooh, DeLon, I have to show you something real quick. For Avengers, if it'll show up, somebody's game bugged while they're in the main menu, and you can't see it.
Yeah, you can.
The MCU costumes are coming. What an awful way for this news to break. That somebody's game bugged, and this isn't fake. Like, it's like real. Somebody's game bugged, and it put the MCU suit on, and like the loading screen, they'll just be wearing random suits. And so it just leaked that the MCU suits are coming by that. That's tough.
I can finally get my Captain America out them jeans.
Finally.
That sounded wild. Wait, I can finally get
Hey, thank you all for tuning into this Problematic Panel / Next Door Comic Store episode. If you are watching this on YouTube, make sure you comment, like, subscribe, do all those nice things. If you're listening to this on streaming services, make sure you follow us. We appreciate you guys. Y'all stay easy and stay problematic.